Dun, 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 da, 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 da. Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to wait until a few of you come on. Welcome to Shortcuts for Your Soul. This Friday, December the 4th edition is going to be very exciting. I have with me today Archangel Michael. And the subject today is called the liberation. Isn't that fascinating? The liberation. We are at that point in our consciousness now as a species where we have been isolated from what we are naturally. And it is time to get back into integrity with who you are and what you are. And when he came to me and he said, this is the time that we must liberate ourselves from suffering, liberate ourselves from suffering, to no longer impose it on ourselves or anybody else. Hello there. It is time to liberate ourselves from suffering. Wonderful. We are here. Yes. There we go. So yes, welcome. So Archangel Michael said, this is now, we're moving into the phase of human collective unconsciousness, the phase known as the liberation. And it's really important to understand what is meant by the liberation and what we've been going through for the last 2,000 years, and particularly the last 150 years. And even more so this last year of 2020, and what we've been experiencing as a species. And it seems almost counterintuitive that suffering does not make sense to any of us. And it's not supposed to. Suffering is not our natural way of existing. Joy, free flow, liberation is our natural way of existing without resistance to our consciousness, without resistance to source. And it's very fascinating when I'm just going to get my comments going here. Wonderful. Refresh. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Yes. So the liberation, that is where we are now. We are, as a species, at the point of liberation. And this is very critical to understand what is meant by that. We have now experienced probably the greatest collective experience of suppression and repression than at any other time in recent history. And it's not just localized to a few countries. This has been localized to your entire planet. Your entire planet has been engaged in this process of suppression or repression. And this is necessary before a liberation happens, that you experience its opposite, that you feel the restriction and the reduction of your natural organic way of expressing who and what you are. And now comes the liberation. The liberation is brought about consciously and deliberately by several questions that you must ask yourself. The first question, am I doing and being what I get joy being and doing? Is what I'm doing and what I'm being an experience and an expression of joy, an experience of fearlessness? Fearlessness does not mean that you are in any way not feeling fear. Fearlessness means you know that you are doing that which is in harmony with your true nature. Not the nature you've acquired by having a body, not the nature you've acquired having gotten a mind, but the nature of what you are as an extension of light, of source love, of unrestricted creative potential, able to operate through a physical medium of expression which has great resistance in it. However, that resistance dissolves and dissipates the minute you align yourself to the true expression of what you are, not the way you think you need to be for others, and not to try and get others to be the way you think they should be, but to trust unequivocally in the beneficent love of an infinite intelligence that gives you life unconditionally. And you must emulate this to allow life to be what life is, to seek to control, to manipulate, to force any aspect of the world around you to be what you would demand it to be, is to not operate in harmony with who you are. To be able to operate in an unrestricted regard of expression of freedom. An expression of freedom, which requires you be in alignment with your nature. Your nature is your nature. It's not somebody else's. Getting somebody else or something else to be the way you need it to be for you to feel liberated is not freedom. That is the opposite of freedom. To get others to perform and act and be as you think they should be is not freedom. And you will remain imprisoned by the very nature of your desire to try and force upon others that which is against your nature will also be against theirs. But now it is the time of liberation. You know from your experience what makes you feel free and what makes you feel fearful. That which makes you feel fearful is not freedom. Freedom is fearlessness. Freedom is fearlessness. And when you understand that you are fearless, you are then free. You are then free. And it is the only way that you will get free, is to become fearless. When he came and said that this was the time, when Michael came to me and said, this is the time of liberation, and I asked him, what is that? He says, it's being in alignment, ultimately being in alignment with who you are. What is your love? What is your joy? What is your passion? What are the things that excite you and make you feel joy in your heart? Because that's what freedom is, when you feel joy in your heart. And it's from within you because you're doing and you're being that which makes you feel liberated. And to the degree and extent that we liberate ourselves, he said, you liberate others simultaneously. There is a huge influx of higher vibrational, angelic, and divine energies coming to this planet. Not simply from the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensional realms, but also from the realm of our physical sun. The sun that we see in the sky is generating higher vibrational frequencies in what we call this new sun cycle, right? What we three-dimensionally call the sun cycle. I think they call it sun cycle 25 right now. And each cycle of the sun is generating new frequencies of energy that we can biologically integrate. We can allow ourselves to be transformed by it, or we can resist it. A lot of people are afraid of this transformation. And they're the ones that are holding people back. They're the ones that are using all kinds of subterfuge, political machinations, economic manipulations because of their fear of the transformation that they are resistant to go through. And so they would seek to enslave you to their own enslavement of themselves. But the sun, be out in the sun as often as you can to allow your body, your DNA, to be altered and inspired and reorganized into the new paradigm of consciousness, which is the liberation. The liberation is the freedom to be as you are through time, space, and matter, to be liberated in body and in mind and in actions and in words. Your words, when they are spoken from a place of freedom, put a smile upon the face of others. Words that are spoken from a place of imprisonment of suffering will put fear and uncertainty on people's faces. You may know the truth, that which is liberating, and that which is not liberating, because it will liberate you or it will imprison you. You will feel it. All of you can feel this. We know you are, but you must embrace it. Not simply everybody, but those in positions of significant responsibility. You must realize that you aren't doing something for humanity, you're doing it for yourself. To liberate yourself from your fear by imposing it upon others is not the liberation. The liberation is the freedom to be your purpose, to do the service Spirit afforded you to do, not to impose your fears and your uncertainty upon others. Do you not trust this infinite intelligence that beats your heart right now and says, I love you, I beat your heart, I digest your food, I circulate your blood, I maintain the movement of the planets and the stars. Do you not trust me yet? Do you not trust me yet? What do I need to do to earn your trust, that you do not have to go through these subterfuges of fear and guilt and shame any longer? Trust in who I am, and you'll understand freedom. But to try and avoid the inevitable transformation that you will go through, regardless of what you attempt to do to your fellow humans, is a waste of your time and your energy. Humanity could be much farther ahead right now if you were willing to release yourself from your fear. Instead, you impose your fear upon all of those that know less, those that depend upon you to inspire them. Stop imposing your fear on anybody, your doubt. Liberate yourself so that others may be liberated. And you think that controlling population is the solution. You cannot control anything. You cannot even control your heartbeat. Surrender to your passion, to your joy, to your love. Do nothing that does not make you frown. Do nothing that does not make you smile. Do anything that will make you happy. But do nothing to impose fear on others anymore. Thank you, Father. All of this stuff is happening right now on a scale that's unbelievable. But this is now, we are now moving into the liberation. And it doesn't matter what the powers that be, your political leaders, there's no way their fears or their machinations or their swords or their weapons or any of that stuff can override the intelligence that gives them the life that they have in their bodies. Nothing. There's nothing these beings can do to override heaven and earth. For they didn't create this earth. They didn't create the heavens. Spirit did that. It does that. Beat your heart right now. We are wholly dependent upon it. And you think you can outsmart an intelligence that built your body? You think you can outsmart an intelligence that built tens of universes and infinite numbers of dimensions? And you think you can create a policy or a procedure or a subterfuge to deceive an all-knowing intelligence? Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? You cannot deceive nor hide from infinite light that which you think you can hide. You can hide nothing. Yes. So Michael is literally here for anybody who wants to call and say, I'm ready to let go of my fear. I surrendered. I want to live my love. I want to live my joy. I want to live my light. Not just Michael, but all the ascended ones are here for all of us right now. Right now. We are not the only life form in existence. So this infinite intelligence will let us do whatever we want to do, but you cannot override infinite intelligence. We can't. No matter what you do, no matter what political philosophy you create, no matter what laws you create, you cannot outsmart an infinite intelligence. And you can try, but you'll meet results and effects that are very undesirable. So stop it. Those of you that are in positions of social control, leadership positions, stop it. Because you cannot outthink an intelligence that's beating your heart right now. If it wanted to, it could stop your heart in an instant. So stop playing with it. Get in alignment with it. Realize we are here to carry out a light, a love, an expression, a being that transcends your fear. The planet's not going to get overpopulated. It's not right now. Do we need to make changes? Absolutely. Do we need to change our habits? Yes. We need to teach people how to eat properly. We need to teach people how to respect life properly. We need to use our positions of responsibility to stimulate creativity and excitement in people, not fear and guilt and shame and uncertainty because you're afraid. If you're in a leadership position, you should not be instilling fear in anybody. You will be removed. All of you who would seek from leadership positions to instill fear in others will be removed. It's that simple. You can't outthink an infinite intelligence. An all-knowing mind cannot make a mistake. And why not trust in an infinite intelligence? It's beating your heart right now. So please call on Archangel Michael. Anybody, anywhere, call on him and say, I'm ready to be liberated. Now I accept it. And then go forth and start doing things that give you joy. Treat others joyfully. This is the liberation. Find the things that you love to do and do them. That's liberation. Doing what you love, being what you love being, thinking what makes you feel good to think. These are parts of the liberation. They add up to a bigger whole. And when you start liberating yourself from your suffering, you start to liberate the people around you. If you're in alignment with your purpose, you'll be happy. If you're happy, you'll radiate that out wherever you go. But ask yourselves, as you go through, what are you doing that keeps your fear alive? What are you doing that keeps your joy alive? Because there's only those two, fear and love. Which one, acts, words, deeds, are you doing that gives your love more life? Which acts, words, and deeds give your fear more life? Because you can only feed one or the other. All of us. There's nobody exempt from that. I don't care whether you're the leader of the world or a person living on the streets. You've only got a choice between love and fear. Are you thinking, acting in fear or love? It's that simple. Is what you do or say coming from love or fear? And if it's coming from love and you keep coming from love, the world will become a very loving place. And that doesn't just mean leadership. It means every one of us. Your body is an instrument. It's not mine. This is my body. It's not your body. That body, it's not even yours. You didn't even build it. But it's got a life that you're responsible for. It's entrusted to you. It's a gift. And what do you do to it every day? Do you give love to your body? Or do you like just getting the pleasure of the sweet and the sour and the buzz? No, the life in this body is as sacred as your own. And it's because of its existence that you can exist in this physical dimension. All of us. What you're doing with your body giving it more love or less love? More life, less life? You know, are you drinking green, healthy food every morning? Are you eating vegetables? Are you giving the body what it really needs? And, you know, in the desire to experience pleasure, we lose sight of sometimes the reality of what really is best for us. Because I used to love these chocolate bars called Zero Bars. Used to get them at the dollar store. They were called Zero Bars, a Belgian chocolate bar. And I used to love them. And it wasn't that I loved them. I loved the sensation of them. But it was I could feel, after I'd eat it, I could feel the difference in my body. So you have to become really aware of what your body needs to get your body in alignment to the frequency of love that is what you truly are. What are you putting into your body that gives it more life? What are you drinking that gives your body more life? What are you thinking in your mind that stimulates molecules of energy that gives your body more vitality? These are so important. Anyway, this is all being downloaded to me today, and I'm so honored, and it's such a privilege that I get to share this with all of you, that I get to be a vehicle for this, and that we all get to be a vehicle for this, because we're participating in the liberation together. Every one of us, even the most evil villain on the planet, is participating in the liberation, because you cannot know if you're feeling liberated unless you're feeling restrained. when your restraint gets uncomfortable, that's not when you're uncomfortable, suddenly you know something needs to change. We all know this. When something's uncomfortable, something has to change. The question is, are you going to be conscious of that change or unconscious of that change? It's time to become conscious of changing and deliberately choosing liberation. Yeah, God laughs at us all the time in a very loving way. He thinks it's very silly to think that we know more than he does, or it does, or she does, whatever you prefer to call it. The name isn't important. The fact that this consciousness exists is undeniable. The fact that this consciousness does what I ask it to do, open and close my hand, is undeniable. The fact that it's beating your heart right now is undeniable. The fact that you have organs that you can't even see that are working to maintain this body is undeniable. You don't have to even think about it. The divine computer, if you want to call it that, the divine intelligence, the master computer, is operating a lot of things on our behalf. And there are things that we can help it to operate better through us, and the things we can do that inhibit its function through us. And whenever you do things that enhance the function of divinity through your body, the greater your joy, your health, your vitality, your joie de vivre is, the more you're operating in harmony with this life. Anyway, Michael's really excited for all of us. He says, yes, that when you start to feel liberated, when you start to operate from a place of fearlessness, this is key. He says, this is very key right now. He said, you are operating from a place of fearlessness. It means you are not doing or thinking or contemplating anything that stimulates fear. You're not doing, thinking, or contemplating anything that causes fear. And we all can know these things. Like right now, I have the privilege of being able to sit here and allow this to flow through, and I feel absolutely fearless right now. And when you're doing what you are in alignment with doing, you will feel fearless. You will feel joy. And this is what the liberation is about, living pure joy. And it's happening starting this month. I'm told this month it's going to, human collective unconscious is going to bust wide open. All these restrictions and freedoms are going to begin to lift as this veil of fear gets pulled away from the mind and hearts of humans everywhere on all levels. Because anytime we are operating from a veil of fear, we are diminishing our capacity to express the infinite potential that each of us has to offer this world. Yes. He's also saying that when we get to this place where we start to teach each other what right action from wrong action is. All of you, I don't know who's going to hear this or where they're going to hear this, but remember, that body that you're living in is just on loan. You won't take that body with you, but you have a responsibility over it. You can keep stuffing McDonald's down your throat and you're not going to get health out of that. If you're doing things that hurt the body, you're hurting yourself. You're diminishing what you are, what you can potentially be. Anytime you do things that's contrary to the well-being of your body, you are hurting its life. This is an independent life form that you inhabit. We are symbiotic with these forms. It's a symbiote. You want to watch a really amazing movie? Watch a movie called The Golden Compass. Brilliant movie. And you are, all of us, we are in a symbiotic relationship with matter in this body. And we have to honor it and respect it. Like I said, going out to these fast food restaurants and eating junk food and drinking alcohol and putting artificial stimulants in your body is not honoring your body. And the more you dishonor your body, the more pain it gets into. The more pain it gets into, the more you try to take these things to get rid of your pain. It's the reverse. You got to get rid of the things that you got to face your discomfort, face your pain, and work through it. That's the liberation. And know that there's an intelligence within you, within your body as well, that when you start to move towards it lovingly, it starts to make corrections in your body. Your body will start to correct when you start giving it the right ingredients, the right food, the right water, the right thinking. Start doing things that excite you and make you happy, and the body will get happy. It's a very simple organism, pleasure, pain based, right? And when we feel the body's in pain, we don't like the sensation our body's communicating to us. So what do? We drug it. We give it painkillers because you don't want to experience the pain that you're allowing that body to go through, rather than giving it the love it needs, whether it be healing. You can go to a healer and get it healed, or you give it more proper nutrition to build certain systems up, exercise it, fundamental things that we can all be doing right now. You can be doing right now to ensure your body lives and thrives. You know, I smoked for 30 years. I was a heavy-duty drinker. I'm very blessed that I got rid of that. I left that, and my body's getting healthier and stronger. It's renewing itself. This infinite intelligence knows how to renew your life. When you put the right things in the body, it will organize them correctly. You don't have to worry about organizing. Just put the right stuff in it. Don't put sand in the gas tank. So put the stuff in the body that the intelligence within it can reorganize the body to be what you need it to be. Exercise your body. Go out and ground in nature. There's fundamental things that 90% of people on the planet need to learn to do. You don't need to drug and murder millions of people with a vaccine because you don't think they can learn something new. Start teaching them and stop profiting from their suffering. That's what's happened, is you start profiting from their suffering, and now you think that's the only way you're going to be able to take care of yourself. No, you can profit from vitality and health way more than you could ever imagine you can from suffering. Vitality and health will prosper everyone in a way that's just mind-blowing. And you can't conceive of it because you're so entrapped in the old paradigm that suffering is the way you get what you need. It's not, sorry. You're in for a surprise. This is the liberation. And whether you willingly choose to follow the path of freedom, love, joy, or not, it's going to happen. The liberation is inevitable, no matter what subterfuge or mechanisms you use. And Michael's laughing at me. He says, people don't realize it, but you're beginning to. I'm beginning to. I really am. He says, most of you don't realize, most of you do not realize that liberation is not about what you get other people to be and do. Liberation is about what you are being and doing. And if what you are being and doing is in alignment with the laws of your body, the laws of your mind, and the laws of the spirit, then great will be your joy. And much happiness will there be on this world. It is inevitable one way or another. The liberation, it has begun, and it cannot be stopped. But know this, that if you continue to do things in fear, if you continue to do things for the sake of pleasure alone, without the mindfulness of the well-being of your body, there's a price. Yes, thank you. Wonderful. So this is it, folks, the liberation. When Michael came today, and there's a whole range of things, because I've been going through my version of not being liberated, of being caught up in the fear and the stuff, and I've been going through my version of that over the last year, as well as you guys, in my own way. And as I come out this other side, I realize it's not worth it. Trying to be right is not worth it. It's not. It's not worth it. I don't care how many billions of dollars you got. It's not worth trying. Being right is not going to be worth the money. You won't have the money. You can't take it with you. But you can do something here that's going to be really meaningful and valuable when you surrender operating from a platform of fear. Teach people how to love. Teach them. Change the educational mechanisms. Teach people how powerful they are. From the moment they are born, you know this can be done. And all you have to do is recognize you have nothing to fear, that you will not lose your place in the creation just because everybody else suddenly becomes intelligent and can create as equally and as effectively as you. No, you will go to the stars. There's a whole playground waiting for you, but you cannot leave to the playground until you learn how to play in it properly with your brothers and sisters. So please learn to play with them. Wonderful. Wow. Hi, everybody. I'm so grateful you guys showed up. I'm just trying to find where my live chat is on this event here, so I can, there it is right there. Let's see if we can get this. There we go. So Again, welcome everybody. And we've had, I think last Monday we had people from over 10 different countries on the live stream. And I want to say welcome everybody. This is such an honorable time for all of us to be part of. The angels, the divine beings, the Pleiadians, the multidimensional ones that are here with us because we're choosing, we're making a choice. And now we're coming to this point of the liberation. We've been under huge suppression and repression for almost a year. Can you feel? Everybody can feel that. And the liberation is knowing the contrast. What is it that liberates us from that feeling? Doing things that are based in fear will create more suffering. Anything you do, and even if you remove billions of people from the planet because of your fear, it will not get rid of your fear. And there's a consequence. There's a consequence when you enact to that degree and extent from a place of fear. There is a consequence. And the sun will be that which enacts the consequence. You may function from a platform of love, and the sun will shine. You can function from a platform of fear, and the sun will shine differently. And you know of what I speak. Those of you that we are addressing, you know of what I speak, that the sun will shine differently. Yes. So fear and love create very different results in time, space, and matter. And everything we're connected to, the earth, the flowers, the trees, the birds, the sun, the galactic system, other dimensions that we're all interconnected with energetically right now. Right now. And they're responding to us. The sun is giving us light and energy and frequency, altering our DNA according to the general signal it receives from us. Energy, matter changes according to what vibration is dominantly being imparted to it. This glass of water here, well, my jar of water, if I put this jar of water in the freezer, the water doesn't have to do anything. The freezer will turn it to ice, whether the water likes it or not. When you put a vibration of fear out into time and space, it organizes matter very differently. Think of the fear as the temperature of cool in the freezer. It's going to cause an effect regardless of what you think, what your big vision is. The fear will cause a very specific result in time and space. Whether there's 10 people here or 10 billion people here, fear creates very different results in time, space, and matter than does love. They're very different things altogether. And you have a choice. You have a choice right now to make. It's a big choice. Because you're not just making it for yourself, we're making it for everybody. Whatever I choose to think, feel, say, and do, whatever they choose to think, feel, say, and do, we are all collectively contributing in the creation. And there are geophysical and solar events that occur in conjunction with certain qualities of energy that are exchanged between different bodies. And you've heard us talk about this before, that there is this divine energy that emanates from all of you, and it expresses as either fear or love. And you have choice over these. You have choice over one or the other. Thou canst serve two masters. You can only serve one or the other, fear or love. Thou can't serve both. It doesn't work. So you choose love or you choose fear. Love will create very different things in your world and in your experience than will love. And you have not been beyond this realm yet because you're still restricted in your fear. But this is the liberation for many of you now that choose this process of surrendering your fear and the things and the agents and the mechanisms of fear. The liberation will be felt. For some of you, you're already feeling it. You're feeling us aligning to you in that. Some of you are already feeling that alignment, that liberation from fear. Knowing that your thoughts and your actions born of love are greater than thoughts and actions born of fear, but both will create effects in time and space, but each will have their own reward. Each will have their own reward. And which one would you choose? because you can choose now. Whether you are sleeping on a street, you still have choice. Will this action give me more love? Is this a fear-based action? You always have choice, no matter what level you're on. But each choice has its own reward. And it's a lesson I've been getting big time this last year, and I know all of you have been too. We've all been going through this feeling of our freedoms being taken away. But it's not just us, it's everyone. Even the people that are perpetrating the mechanisms of fear are fighting their fear. And they think that trying to fix people out there to change what's going on out there is going to change what's inside them. No, it won't work, guys. You can't manipulate the outside world to get away from your own internal conditions. Sorry, there's no escaping it. They keep telling me this. Michael's laughing at you. Michael's laughing at all of you that you really think this time that using mechanisms of fear through your own human contrived realities can transcend the intelligence of the all-loving intelligence that gives you life. You think you can actually outthink an all-knowing intelligence that is giving you life, that regulates your blood, controls your chemistry in your body, digests your foods and converts it. You think you know better than it? You're in for a surprise. Wow. This has been really great, guys. Let's look into this here. I'll get some questions and answers. So really, the liberation, I hope you guys are feeling it today, because it came in I can't tell you. It was literally like, oh, for me. The heavens have opened, literally. And I feel clearer and more connected to my beings than I have ever felt before. And I know a lot of you are going to start feeling that over the coming days. Do not operate from fear. Do not operate from fear. Do not think from fear. And start to honor. It's really important, especially get this information out to the light worker community. All light workers, you must not just talk your talk. You must live your talk. What you put into your body, caffeine, anything that's going to detrimentally affect your body, stop doing it. Stop it. This body is a divine temple. It's not even yours. It's on loan. Don't use it just for your own personal pleasure. It's not for just your pleasure alone. It deserves the experience of a well-being life, a life of well-being. So start enlightening your body by giving it the right food. Get away from eating other life forms. 72,000 years ago, we did not eat. Humans did not eat animals 72,000 years ago. We did not. We lived in harmony with life on the planet. It was called the Garden of Eden in biblical terms. It was an actual place called Eden. One of my videos done by a man named Jamal Ibsikiu, who lived in Eden, and explained to us how it fell and why it fell for the same reasons that we see happening today. Man got caught up in fear and began to try and remove his fear by blaming others, thinking his causes for his feelings were outside of himself. The causes for our feelings are within us, not outside of us. And anyway, that recognition that we had that place where we lived in complete harmony with all life forms, animals. You could walk up and pat the animals. They didn't feel threatened. They didn't flee from us. The only reason they flee from us is they know we'll eat them, because that's what we learned based on the effects of our fear. Because when Eden fell, it caused what we call the first micronova, which is something that happens about every 12,000 years. And it's the emotional energy. Emotion is an electrical charge, okay? Emotion, fear, love are electrical energy. And when you're feeling love and you're feeling joy and you're feeling blissed out, it's an energy that affects matter. When you're feeling angry and fearful, that's an energy that affects matter. And the sun and the earth and the animals respond to that, right? So when Eden fell, because we got so fearful and the power and control, the same games we're seeing playing out today, and the first micronova happened, and then we truly went into the depths of our fear and have been there for many tens of thousands of years, for about 70,000 years. We've been trying to come out of it, trying to come out of this place of living from fear. And what did we do? We started eating these animals that we were once friends with in order to survive. We ate whatever we could eat, right? And that's gone on repeatedly for the last 7 cycles or so. And now here we are again. This time it's going to be different. We have a chance now. If everybody on all levels can understand the flow of energy, that love and fear are electrical energies. My guardian angel John said to me 2 years ago, emotion is the fifth state of energy, and it organizes matter. Emotion organizes matter. Fear and love are different emotional properties, and each of them organizes matter very differently. Love organizes matter very differently than fear does. Your body, when it's experiencing pain unnecessarily, is because there's something that's generated fear. It doesn't matter whether it's the fear, even if the fear is somebody else getting you to eat food that's not good for you. All our parents did that. My mom taught me how to eat meat. My mom taught me, and I remember being a child not wanting to eat it, remember spitting it out, and they made me eat it and forced me to eat it until finally I accepted that process. And I had to surrender that. I had to give up meat. I've given up meat for some time now, and I feel much better inside. My body loves that. But you go through a process of recognizing what gives your body more love and life and what doesn't. Please start to pay attention to that. So loving your body, restoring this balance to humanity will restore balance. We don't need to eat other animals. So eating the proper foods, drinking proper water, going out and connecting with nature, going out and just breathing the air, and really not just breathing it through your nose, but breathing it, feeling its life. And going out to a forest and feeling the life there and the different forms of expression of infinite intelligence, expressing in the leaves and the mushrooms and the trees and the squirrels, and feel the life that is in them that is in you, and to feel that union and to let nature, so being grounded, right? Being vibrant and vital. And we need to get back to where we were before Eden fell. We need to get to that now. Remember, emotion organizes matter. Please remember that. Okay, so I'm going to start. I know, I get it, guys. So they've just been coming through. I'm just letting them come through unrestricted today because it's needed. We need to wake up. All of us need to wake up. Every one of us. This isn't about us and them. This is about us, period. It's about all of us, every life form on this planet. And we as humans are the apex life form on the planet physically. There are other life forms that are higher in consciousness than we are, which I communicate with them, and so do you, whether you know it or not. Everybody does. And because of our position in this world, we can organize matter energetically, emotionally, very differently than animals can. Animals are just being what they are. They don't think about what they're being. They're just being what they are. We can think about what we're being. We can choose what we're being. We can choose what we think. We can go contrary to our nature. Animals can't. But we have free will for a reason to learn the best possible way to create an existence that is more beautiful, splendid, and uplifting than any other possibility that we've ever experienced as a species on this planet in the last 72,000 years, right? Humanoid forms have been on this planet for 250 million years, but humans as we know them, Dave, have only been around for about 72,000 years. So let's get into some questions and answers. Yes, I'll call it God with me, as well as Archangel Michael, and a few others that are here will take your question as well. So let's see what we got. Question from Marigold. What steps can I do today to find my joy? Well, again, you know this. That which you say and that which you do, does it give you joy? What your eye goes to, what your ear goes to, does it please you? Does it please you? Does it make you open? Does it make you closed? You know these things. Yes. Okay. So there's in our courses and classes, we give a little extra. I've often given this suggestion in our courses and classes. Go out to a dollar store and get a little dollar store notepad, just a little tiny notepad that you can carry in a pocket with you. And for all of this day, and I challenge all of you to do this, take this little notepad, have a pen handy, and anything you see, anything you hear, anything you smell, anything you touch that makes you feel joy, write it down. That a sparrow sang in the tree and it made me happy. I heard a dog barking. I heard a leaf blower blowing leaves. It made me think of the summer. Write down everything that you see, smell, touch, taste, and hear that gives you joy. If you want to start reconnecting to your joy, use that process. Because if you're focusing on the things that you see, wow, I love that orange sitting on the counter over there. Wow, that orange gave me great joy. Wow, the sound of the leaves rustling in the air. Wow, the sound of the leaves blowing from the fall across the ground and scratching. I love that sound. Everything gives you joy. Oh, I smell that rose. Oh my goodness. I smell incense burning. Anything that reconnects you to your joy consciously. Thank you. They want me to stress that. Consciously. You must consciously connect to your joy. It will not happen automatically. It must be done consciously. So take that pad, go out and spend a whole day and spend another day and another day and keep connecting things that give you joy. You'll be amazed at how much joy is around you, waiting for you to acknowledge it. And once you acknowledge it, you connect to it inside yourself. Once you acknowledge something gives you joy out there, you connect to the joy of it in you. So please, Marigold, go do that. Reconnect your joy. All of you, go do that. Get that little pad and write down everything. Sight, sounds, touches, taste, smell that give you joy. Fascinating. Wow. 44 people here today. Isn't that wonderful? The number 44. Divine order, 44. Skipping, Drusilla. A question from Drusilla. Any message for me? I don't know why they say, skip to the loo, my darling, is the words that they're sending to me. I don't, this is a female child guardian you've got with you saying, tell her to skip to the loo. And really, like, not the bathroom, but to literally skip around with joy. Skip around with joy today. That's really good. Oh, hi, Inshira. Wonderful. Yes, 1111. Thank you for that donation, Inshira. I really appreciate it. What happened Wednesday is what you're hearing today. The liberation. The liberation. It has to happen within you before it can happen around you. And we've been talking extensively about this morning because this is what it is. It is your liberation. And all of you, does not matter what level or station you are in this world, cannot escape the effects of your own causes. So joy is a cause, love is a cause, fear is a cause, uncertainty is a cause. Each produces its own reward. I love it. You guys are great. Here we go. So fun. Wow, the great questions here, guys. Question from Blaine for Archangel Michael. How does he... Sorry, Blaine. Blaine's asking a question. How does Archangel Michael use his sword to separate negative from positive? And what advice does he have for us to do the same? The sword is metaphorical, and it is representative of a vibrational energy that I utilized to change, transmute, or transform an emotional energy from one state into another. The sword is simply the instrument, an allegorical instrument for transforming a vibration from one into another. To not literally cut you away from your fear, but to transform your fear. And by that, you are separated from it. You're removed from it. The other day, Michael, the other day, somebody asked him a question about his sword as well, and he said, "I lean on it sometimes." I thought that was so funny. He uses his sword to lean on sometimes. Wonderful. Thank you, Blaine. Question from Oliver: are meditation on the 12 days a relevant ascension tool for raising our vibration? It's an essential element, for anyone seeking to raise their vibration, whether it is meditation or seeking your joy or smiling or writing something beautiful or doing a service. There are many, many tools that each of you can employ to increase your joy, to expand your liberation For love is the ultimate liberation. Fear is the ultimate imprisonment. Anything that you can do that will raise the frequencies of love in your body as well as in your mind are of use to you. And it's true. Drinking proper water in the proper amounts, 67% of the people on the planet are chronically dehydrated and don't even know it. A lot of people that drink caffeine are drinking caffeine because they're chronically dehydrated. The caffeine gives them a false sense of energy and it gives them the sense of drinking something, but most of them are dehydrated people, right? Yes, I know that. Thank you. Question from Sanyukta. Can Archangel Michael help us heal past life traumas? I've been told I have some carried to this lifetime. Yes, you didn't carry them to this lifetime. You carried them here for the reason. They're here to be released, to be transcended. When you embrace your suffering from the perspective of love, you will find your relief. When you embrace your suffering from the perspective of love, you will find your relief. To embrace your suffering from love from the perspective of your body means that you would articulate actions towards your body that would increase or enhance the quality of its being. From the perspective of mind, you would alter thoughts and ideas that you give attention to those that would represent love. It is very simple in the application when you understand it. Cool. So it's literally going into past traumas. Don't go into the trauma. Give love to the trauma. Give your compassion, your kindness. They tell us this all the time. It's not about getting rid of my pain. It's about transcending it. Like, I feel that pain in my shoulder and I go there and I give it love. I say, I love you. And all of a sudden it dissolves. I cannot tell you how many times when they come in, if I've ever had, about a year ago, I got a really bad cold about a year ago. And my sinuses were running and they said, this is happening for a reason so you can know that you can transcend any condition. I said, what do you mean? I'm going live in like 5 minutes. We were teaching our classes then. And they said, you'll see, in about 5 minutes, you'll see. So I got set up, I went on to go live on the class, and all of a sudden, all of the symptoms literally just vanished. They were gone, completely gone. I was totally liberated. It was like, wow. And then I taught the class, and then right after class, it all came back again. And they said, do you understand? I went, what do you mean? They said, are you willing to let it go? Are you willing to be loving instead of like, oh my God, are you willing to extend love to it? We are love. So we come into your body and changes it instantly. And that happens. When your guides and angels come into your body at a higher frequency, it transcends the lower vibrational states of the body. That's why sometimes if you get really excited about something, you forget you're not feeling well because you raise the vibration. Remember that. You can alter the vibration of your body anytime. And so they did that for 3 days. I went through this process of teaching, and every time, by the end of the 3rd day, I got the message. So I just stayed in a higher frequency, and it never came back, and I've been fine ever since, never had not even a sniffle since then. It's amazing what happens when you allow yourself to engage a vibration of love in thought and in action, and start doing loving things to your body. Like really start giving it love. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I have to figure out why it does this. Question from Marie for Metatron. The vibrations on my body I'm perceiving so much lately, especially when meditating. How can I best harness them? Thank you. Like he's saying, like the point, bring everything to a point. Bring everything to a point. What do you mean by that? To a focus. Before you begin your meditation, understand and choose what your creation is. For the energy that you are utilizing is not to be just randomly experienced, but to be utilized in the creation. Choose very consciously and deliberately what your creation will be. If it's greater vitality or greater service, more inspiration, a gift, happiness, you must choose the creation of these energies. For you may have a bunch of dough to make bread with, but if you do not shape the dough, you will have no bread. So you receive these energies, but you must give them shape and form in order for them to manifest as the conditions of that energy. Otherwise, it is just sensation, and sensation can feel very nice, but sensation is energy to be utilized in the creation. Everything is to be utilized in the creation. For all of you that are meditating, hear these words. The sensation of these energies that we broadcast to you are to be utilized in the process of the creation. What it is you are here to be and do, what you are here to participate in with others. This is important. Thank you very much, Mary. That's a great question. Wonderful. Question from Dollybound. What is going on with all the people that go missing from national parks that David writes about in Missing 411? Let me ask about that. Wow. There's several different answers to that. But they're saying to me, why are you concerned with this? Their job, their purpose is not yours. You are best to spend your time focusing on what your purpose is. If your purpose is to go and find these people, then go and do this. Put together an organization to do this. Some will be found and some will not. Some have left. What do you mean by that? They are not here anymore. They're not in this world anymore. Can I paraphrase that? So basically what he's saying is there's some of the beings that go in there and they leave. They're not humans. They're in human form, but they leave. Where others are humans that have wandered into something that they shouldn't have wandered into. Right? That's different. But remember, purpose is really important. Question from Katya. Any advice for me about career? It's interesting, that word career. Career. I'm hearing these words. That thing that you love, that you deny, is where your uncertainty originates from. That thing that you love, that you deny, is where your uncertainty comes from. What is that thing? I don't know why I'm getting a pencil in a hand with an eraser. I don't know what that means, but a pencil, the lead is pointing up. It's not pointing to the page, but the eraser's in the same hand, and it's erasing a bunch of scribbly lines on the page. I don't know what that means for you, but they're saying you will understand. That thing that you love, that you remember. Wow. Hope that makes sense. Again, whatever your responses or questions are that get answered here, please remember to share your effect, your experience in the comments section. And please remember to like this video while you're watching. Give it a thumbs up, like the video, because the algorithms on Facebook respond to that. And the more thumbs up we get, the more people this gets put in front of. This information deserves to be in front of everybody. Everyone needs to know that they are an extension of divine love, and that their true nature is love. That's all of our true nature. I don't care how evil a person is. Your true nature is love at the core of it all. Your expression might not be love, but your true nature is love. You wouldn't be alive if you didn't come from love. Life is love. Question from Gobstopper9. I love that. That's a nice name. Makes me think of the Harry Potter series. Any words of wisdom for me? Thank you. Wow. I get, listen to, you need to lay back. You need to lay back and listen to classical music under the tree. listen to classical music under the tree. I don't know what I mean by the tree, but it feels very specific to me that there's a specific tree. Yes. Listen to classical music under the tree. Let thy eyes be closed, that thy soul may open. Cool. I love that. Thank you so much for that question. Well, Master Jesus, Nicole, was with you yesterday. Yes, I understand. Wonderful. So much. Well, guys, this has been a powerful time for all of us right now. It's like it's an amazing, amazing time for you on this planet, for all of us. This is the liberation. It begins now. It begins now. 2 weeks ago, I felt this upliftment happen, and now I know that it's the liberation that is happening. Please find and connect to the things that move you away from fear towards love. Remember, anything that moves humanity towards fear is going to create a very different effect in time and space than anything that moves us towards love. And those that are in positions of manipulation, control, and leadership positions, remember that you are to lead by example. And if you're leading from fear, then it doesn't matter. Even if you achieve your result, the rewards of fear are very different than the rewards of love. And you can do this very differently than what you've been doing. They're telling me to tell you this right now. You can do this very differently. Stop it. Stop functioning from fear. Stop imposing your fear on others because you think getting others to change is going to get rid of your fear. It won't work. And you can't prevent a micronova in a place of fear. Love can do things very differently than fear will. Please understand that. Guys, thank you so much for showing up today. I really appreciate your love and your questions, your curiosity, your excitement. We are in exciting times. In tomorrow's meditation, I hope you'll join me on Supernatural Saturday tomorrow at 11:30. The meditation is going to blow our freaking minds. It's going to take us into this movement we're going into now. And I've got a lot of beings that are going to be with me tomorrow, and I know you'll be bringing your guides, and angels are with you always. As we bring these vibrational frequencies through, you are liberating yourself and others. Everything you can do to elevate your light, your love, your joy, does it for others as well. But trying to get others to conform to things to alleviate your discomfort or fear is not an expression or extension of love. Anything you do to try and alleviate your fear towards others is going to do the opposite. It's going to actually make things harder for you. If you want to support these messages, speaking of messages, yes, today I do the draw for our patron, the patron who wins a free reading with me this month, right? So I'm going to do this draw above my head. So this is for a free reading with me for one of my patrons. So I got this is the number I got out. Let's see what we got here. Let's see who we've got. It is Christina Holmes. Congratulations. You won a free reading with me for this month's free reading with me Patreon draw. So Christina, you'll receive a notification today, an email, and then you can go and go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can set up your reading according to my available times on my schedule there. I'm really happy for you, Christina. I love this, that we get to do this. And for our patrons, we also have what we call the 7 at 7 on the 7th day, on the 7th at 7 p.m. every month. We have a patrons only live event. We just did a spontaneous patrons only healing event on Sunday, which was amazing. We had some incredible feedback. People went through massive transformations. So one of the ways you can support these messages is by joining me in Patreon, becoming a Patreon supporter. Yes, I understand that totally and completely, sweetheart. This is normally her snack time, so she's just telling me, it's my snack time. Animals know when they're supposed to be fed. They really know it, eh? Starting on you in a moment. And so you can support the work through patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. You can also, as somebody has today, support this work by offering a donation through the super chat feature. which also, for those of you that didn't get your questions answered today, if you use the super chat feature for as little as $1, I'll get your question right away and I can answer right away. The other way you can support this work, you can use my banner on my YouTube channel. There's a link for my Patreon, my PayPal account. You can offer a small donation there as well. And again, Christina, congratulations so much. And thank you everybody for your questions, your time, your patience, your focus, your energy. We are all in this together. We really are. We are not all in fear together. We are in this together in love. You cannot be together in fear. You are separate in fear. When somebody tries to tell you we're in suffering together, no, you're not together in suffering. You're alone in suffering. But in love, we are together, all of us. And we are, in that sense, we are all in this together. So let's amplify this reality. Go out, get that dollar store notepad. Go out and connect to the things that give you joy. Do and be and think things that elevate your energy up, right? And stop trying to get the world to be the way you think it should be in order for you to feel comfortable and happy, because you won't feel comfortable and happy. Even if you kill off half the people on the planet thinking it's going to make your life better, you'll feel worse. Believe me. And there's an effect. There is an effect for everything. No matter what you can tell yourself, there's an effect for everything you do. And the environment, the intelligence that's beating your heart right now knows it. It knows everything. You know that story about Santa Claus? Well, it's infinite intelligence. And Santa Claus is a metaphor for infinite intelligence that exists within all of us. It's what we are. It's what we have, and it hears you. Have a wonderful and a joyful day, everybody. We will see you tomorrow on Supernatural Saturday for the meditation. I'm really excited. Much love, everybody. Bye for now, and thank you for joining me today.